Water. Mobile water, unique in every way.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Update you on all the running stories and connect you to the newsmakers.
Citi News.
This is the Election Bureau. Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to the Citi Prime News. We're coming to you live from our studios at number 11, Dr. Morty Loop in Adabraka, Accra. My name is Ajuatin Kramadomina. Coming up this afternoon, will the National Democratic Congress succeed in breaking the 20-year winning streak by the NPP in the Domikwabenya constituency?
MPP na metro. It's say MPP wayebi. Do me ba nko free education. Enyame wayebi.
MPP for sure we say a day. Jenya bottom back 30 million.
Today on our special constituency report, we highlight the sharp divide in voter sentiment in this densely populated constituency ahead of the December polls. Also coming up, we'll hit the campaign trail of the two leading political parties as Ghana goes to the polls in 22 days.
Yachicha regions, yes, 6 new regions at LCAC University and our campuses of university.
Still in the bulletin, urban planning consultant warns of looming transport crisis in Ghana over rapid growth in urban areas.
If we are not very careful in the next few years, if deliberate national policy are put in place, we're going to have a chaotic transportation system in Accra.
And later in the bulletin, coalition of unemployed graduate teachers pickets at Education Ministry demanding the posting of members before December 7 elections.
We expect that we will open the portal for the diploma graduates, look from the university and then College of Education. And then we also demand that our posting should be released before 7th December.
Stay with us for details of these and more stories coming your way in 30 minutes. The news is live across the globe on citinewsroom.com. Around the country, we are live on a number of affiliate stations. If you're in the Western region, tune in to Adrimpa 100.7 FM in Takwa Beach, 105.5 FM in Takrade. In the Bunu region, this is Greener, 95.9 FM in Sunyang. Ashanti region, find us on Adrimpa 99.9 FM in Inkawie. In the Volta region, tune in to Heritage 107.3 FM in Hohoi, Freedom 88.1 FM in Sugakope. In the Northern region, we are on Radio Gaki 88.3 FM in Saboba. In Upper East, this is Quality 88.7 FM in Garu. And in the Northeast region, this is Nobia 98.1 FM in Nalerigu. Please stay for details.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Update you on all the running stories and connect you to the newsmakers.
We're grateful for your company this afternoon. Let's begin with stories on elections, and we hit the campaign trail right away. And the campaign team of Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, the NPP's flag bearer, says it will not emotionally invest in prophecies seeking to determine the winner of the December polls. Some pastors during a recent interaction with the NDC's flag bearer, John Mahama, noted that the leader of the opposition party will win the 2024 polls. But in an interview with Citi News, a senior aide to Dr. Bawumia, Anthony Cabo, indicated that the team sees such claims as predictions rather than prophecies.
I find those to be predictions.
All these things are not prophecies.
Honestly, I mean, I don't know what a prophecy is. I have never seen. But the question is, why are prophecies so prevalent in Africa among black people? I don't understand it. You go to China, go to Asia, nobody's talking about prophets. You go to America, nobody's talking about prophecies. You go to London, Germany, nobody's talking about prophecies. Prophecies are only in Africa. Why?
None of them have anything to do with
I'm just saying. Why? We saw prophets who said Kamala Harris was going to win. What happened? If we decided to believe them and emotionally invest in those people, what would have happened? People said there was no way Donald Trump will ever be president. But look at it. A sweet victory.
You heard the senior aide to Dr. Baumia, Anthony Cabo, speaking there with my colleague Hansen Ajima. Well, let's go live to New Edubiase and join Hansen on the campaign trail. Hansen, good afternoon. Thank you for joining us. Beyond prophecies, what other thing is the campaign team focused on today?
Well, the campaign team is certain that campaigning in the Ashanti region is important. And in my interaction with Anthony Cabo, I sought to inquire from him why they decide to spend a lot of time here in the Ashanti region. Mind you, he's been in the Ashanti region for about 2 weeks now, and he's expected to remain in the Ashanti region for another week. And the indication is that they are hoping to get 85% voter turnout and also get about 85% of the total valid vote card after December 7th, which essentially will result in they winning the election according to their own calculations. And so they've been campaigning in various constituencies. After today's trip, Dr. Baumia would have visited 4 constituencies in the Ashanti region. The region has 47 constituencies. He's been talking about his policies to them, how he hopes to make life comfortable for Ghanaians and help Ghanaians live a meaningful life.
So
today
Hassan,
he's campaigning in the
please land.
He's campaigning in the New Edubiase constituency. From here, he's going to the Adansia Sokwa constituency, which is a constituency for Casey Hammond. Before he will end today's tour in Fomena, which is the constituency for the second Deputy Speaker of Parliament.
Now, as you rightly said, it spent nearly 2 weeks in the Ashanti region. What has been the assessment of their campaign in the region so far?
Well, it's been one of people expressing their support for the NPP. And this is not surprising because the NPP historically has won the region in both the parliamentary and presidential election. There are a lot of people who speak well of the party with respect to infrastructure, i.e. hospitals, as well as roads. But I must say also that if you come to the Ashanti region, the rate of poor roads is on the high. And so even as the team visits various constituencies and stakeholders express their support for the NPP, they tend to remind them of the need to construct their roads for them. And the party leadership, together with the flag bearer, continue to give their commitment to these stakeholders that indeed if they are retained as leaders of the country from 2025, they work aggressively in addressing some of these issues.
Very well. Thank you so much. That's my colleague Hansen Ajiman speaking to us from the NPP campaign trail. Let's now hit the NDC's campaign trail. And flag bearer of the National Democratic Congress, John Dramani Mahama, has pledged to establish public universities in Ghana's newly created regions if elected in 2024 elections. Speaking at Inkatieso in Jaboso constituency of the Western North region, John Mahama stressed the importance of equitable access to higher education, stating that every region deserves at least one public university. John Mahama described the initiative as a step towards addressing educational disparities across the country.
I was a region we share NDC policy. I was a region in your public university back home.
Our manifesto has already made it clear that every region deserves a public university. When we were in power, we established universities such as the University of Health and Allied Sciences, the University of Energy and Natural Resources in the Brongahafo region, and the University for Development Studies, among others. We are committed to ensuring that the 6 newly created regions have their own public universities. So if you have a piece of land you are willing to allocate for this purpose, we will make good use of it to bring this vision to life.
Tertiary educational institution.
Flag bearer of the National Democratic Congress, John Dramani Mahama there. Now we go to the Dome-Kwabenya constituency, a traditionally stronghold of the governing New Patriotic Party, where voters are sharply divided over who will secure their vote in the upcoming elections. While some support the NPP for policies they believe have alleviated economic struggles, others feel the current economic challenges could weaken the party's influence. My colleague Ejubi Wiafia-Kenting and I gauged voter sentiments and interacted with key political figures ahead of the polls.
I will vote for the New Patriotic Party because they have done a lot for us. My child is not a free senior high school beneficiary, but I have benefited from the party.
Times are really hard under the MPP government. We are buying a sack of onion for more than 3,000 cedis.
As election day approaches, voters in Dome-Kwabenya are voicing divided opinions on their choices. Although the constituency has been a stronghold of the New Patriotic Party, some constituents feel neglected in terms of local development, challenging the ruling party's hold here.
Almost 15 years.
Our roads are really terrible. Since I moved here more than 15 years ago, we have struggled with poor road network. Things are really hard. Under the NDC, the economy was better, but now everything is difficult. Previously, I could get a lot of foodstuffs with 200 cedis at Kintampo. I went there recently, and I could hardly purchase anything with the same amount.
From police station downwards to Kwabenya had the air to
Our roads are terrible. Some areas, including the police station area to Kwabenya, Abokobi, and Agbogba, the roads are so terrible. Our roads are so bad that women who may have to go to the hospital for labor may suffer on their way.
Located in the Ga East municipality, Dome-Kwabenya borders Amasaman, Trobo, Madina, Ayasu West Wogon, and Ekwapim South. Historically, it has favored the NPP. This year's race features a new candidate from the New Patriotic Party, Michael Aaron Okwe, Chief Executive of the Free Zones Authority and son of former MP and Speaker of Parliament, and the NDC's Faustina Elikplim Akrugu, the party's first two-time candidate in this constituency. With these contenders, who will earn the mandate?
Michael Kwei is doing well in this constituency. He has done so much for us, including constructing sheds in the market for us. We are grateful to God for bringing him to us as our leader.
Now, they have given him the mandate. The man is not even coming to do my campaign. I thought of it yesterday. I said, this man, how is he going to win in this area? He has to really come round, talk to us, convince us, and let us know his policy and the things he's coming to do for us before we vote for him.
In the 2020 elections, under the leadership of Sarah Joasafo, the NPP's vote share fell from 68% in 2016 to 58.35%. The NDC's Faustina Akrugu gained significant ground, and many now feel the NPP is losing traction, partly due to the controversies surrounding the incumbent MP's prolonged absenteeism from Parliament. However, NPP candidate Michael Okwe Jr. is confident that the party will retain its influence in the constituency.
Well, all I have to say is that new king, new law. We have a different candidate, so we're expecting different results. That's all I can say. I can't talk about what happened in the past because I wasn't the MP then. So we'll see what happens. By the grace of God, MPP will win in Dome-Kwabenya. We know that. But we are being humble and asking God to even bless us more with more votes.
Meanwhile, the NDC believes the challenges faced under the current administration and the perceived disengagement of the incumbent MP favor their candidate.
The economy, the way governance is being, run in this country, and the kind of things that Ghanaians are going through. You cannot tell me that Domi Kwabena is different. I'm buying the same fuel. I'm going the same market with them. And we are feeling it. The heat, all of us are feeling. You yourself, I believe you feel the heat. So they should be very careful of the way they are, even though I will not advise them. But we are going to show them surprise this time.
Yet, some loyal NPP constituents argue that policies like the Free Senior High School initiative have helped alleviate hardships, reinforcing their support for the ruling party.
Many parents used to struggle to send their children to school, but now even mothers are going to school.
In the estate community of Ashoman, residents share what issues will influence their votes on election day.
The first one is the digital world that we say. Today I can stand here, if I don't have a car, book Uber, whatever you can call it, and they will come and pick me. So I'll look at that one first. And then second, education. To me, education, I know the double track and whatever they are talking about sometimes is quite hard, but people are going to school.
So that's a constituent of Dome Kwabena ending that report jointly filed by me and my colleague Jubi Wiafe Akinting. You're still listening to the Citi Prime News. Still ahead in the bulletin, urban planning consultant warns of looming transport crisis in Ghana over rapid growth in urban areas. We have details of this plus other stories coming your way shortly. Please stay.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Update you on all the running stories and connects you to the newsmakers.
Channel 1 TV is live on DSTV, GoTV, and HD+. On DSTV, find us on Channel 363. On GoTV, we're on Channel 117. And on HD+, get us on Channel 108. On a digital TV, run a new search. But take note that without an antenna, you cannot access Channel 1 TV. Channel 1 TV can be accessed on any free-to-air digital box, like the DSTV and HD+ boxes. Channel 1 TV, telling your story, empowering change.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Update you on all the running stories and connects you to the newsmakers.
You're welcome back to the bulletin. Let's bring you some other stories now. An urban planning consultant, Dr. Bernard Abekuwatha, has warned of an impending transport crisis in the country over rapid growth in Ghana's urban areas. Several commuters in Accra, especially along the Flower Port and Tatakwashi interchanges, have in recent times complained about the severe traffic congestion impacting productivity. Now, speaking on the City Breakfast Show, Dr. Abekuwatha argues that the country needs comprehensive and sustainable transportation policies to address the current challenges, warning of a potential crisis if immediate action is not taken.
If we are not very careful in the next few years, if deliberate national policy or deliberate policies are not put in place, we're going to have a chaotic transportation system in Accra and in our bigger cities.
What do we really need to do differently?
Three things. First of all, an effective network plan for the city. Effective network plan. Two, look more directly at enforcing the national transport policy by promoting mass transportation, that is, high occupancy vehicles for the city centers, and making sure that they run, not small vehicles, not taxis, not three-wheelers. The third thing, which we have always said and overflogged it, is enforcement, control over passes and the flyovers that are being constructed are necessary. They are okay. But if you construct all these and you do not get it right of your public transport system, you are missing it.
Dr. Bernard Abekuwatha is an urban planning consultant and was speaking on the City Breakfast Show. Now moving on, the Coalition of Unemployed University and Diploma Graduate Teachers is picketing at the Ministry of Education over the government's failure to post graduates who have completed their licensure exams. The group claims that multiple engagements with the Ghana Education Service and the Ministry of Education to address the issue have yielded no results. Speaking to City News, Vice President of the coalition, Peter Ba Apiedu, expressed their demand for the release of postings ahead of the December 7 elections.
Some of our colleagues who completed 2020 from College of Education, and due to the licensure that was introduced, some of them were not able to make it at the first attempt. And so in subsequent attempts, they passed and were due to be posted. And as of now, we haven't heard anything. So we wrote to the Director General, we wrote to the Ministry of Education. They called for our data to be submitted to them. We submitted our data to them, and we are not hearing of any positive response. So we decided that if that's the case, then we'll go for the picketing. So we went to the police to take their permission, and they granted the permission for us to do it today. After the picketing, we are hoping we'll hear from either the PRO of the Ministry of Education. So we'll see whether or Director General, whether there are plans underway. Content of the petition is that we request that we open the portal for the diploma graduates, both from the university and then College of Education. And then we also demand that our postings should be released before the election, that is 7th December.
That's a Vice President of the Coalition of Unemployed University and Diploma Graduate Teachers, Peter Ba Apiedu. Now, health professionals at Tetekwashi Memorial Hospital have expressed gratitude to the government for implementing road safety measures near the facility. The action follows prior incidents of speeding vehicles hitting patients and staff along the Koforidua-Mampong-Accra Road, which had prompted the hospital to issue an ultimatum to the government. In an interview with City News, the hospital's administrator, Maxwell Labi, confirmed that intervention has led them to put their earlier strike decision on hold.
We are very grateful to the authorities for taking our petition into consideration. They have been able to construct the strips for us, and number 2 has been increased to about 5 or so with short intervals. And they have provided other markings on the road too, and the zebra crossing in front of the hospital too has been done. There are plans to provide pedestrian footbridge across the road. Yes, so we are very grateful. We have seen some impact of our protest.
Does this bring an end to the threats you gave?
Oh, we are happy and we are satisfied too. At least the authorities listened to us, and within a week, they were able to provide part of our request.
So that was the administrator of the Tetekwashi Memorial Hospital, Maxwell Labi. Now, a new case of monkeypox has been confirmed in the Greater Accra region, raising Ghana's total cases to 3. The first case was reported in the Western region on September 25, involving a 15-year-old boy, with his mother later identified as a second case. Health officials are urging the public to remain vigilant, adhere to hygiene protocols, and promptly report any suspected symptoms to healthcare providers. The Ghana Health Service has intensified public awareness efforts and is collaborating with local health facilities to strengthen their capacity to manage potential cases. Deputy Director of Public Health at the Ghana Health Service, Dr. Dennis Lai, stated that all identified cases are under close observation.
We had the outbreak in Western North. I think it's been contained. There was one case confirmed in the Greater Accra region. The region has done their investigations. So far, we haven't identified any new case, even amongst the contacts, but we're still following them up to determine if anybody develops symptoms. The case was confirmed last week. It's actually mild. The person is quite very well, and so that has been handled. But as I said, sometimes when you get these cases, you want to be double sure that there aren't others out there that we haven't picked. And so the region is working with the district concerned to make sure that they've been able to follow up all the contacts.
He had the Deputy Director of Public Health at the Ghana Health Service, Dr. Dennis Laye. Let's move on now. Anti-corruption campaigner Vitus Axim has emphasized the need for Ghana to focus on enforcing existing anti-corruption laws rather than introducing new ones. His comments come in response to a statement from the Office of the Special Prosecutor which highlights a lack of adequate laws to combat corruption and called for the passage of more effective legislation. In an interview with Citi News, Vitus Axim argued that the fight against corruption does not require new laws, but rather the diligent implementation of current ones and swift investigations into reported cases of corruption.
I think that we have enough laws, and if there might be a few weaknesses that need amendments, but we have enough laws, and if we are serious about implementing them, we should be able to minimize corruption. There are no laws that can just eradicate corruption completely, but we'll try to minimize it. And so I think we have enough laws, but the problem is with implementation. We do not urgently investigate allegations of corruption, credible allegations of corruption. And even where we investigate, we don't follow up with the appropriate action on the findings of the investigation. And if you don't investigate and sanction corruption, you don't make it unattractive for people to engage in corrupt acts. And so that's what we've not been doing right.
He had anti-corruption campaigner Vitus Axim. Now, the Chamber of Petroleum Consumers, COPEC, has projected a marginal reduction in fuel prices as the second pricing window for November begins tomorrow. According to COPEC, the retail price of petrol is expected to drop by about 5% from the current average of 14 cedis 30 pesos per litre to between 12 cedis 90 pesos and 14 cedis 26 pesos per litre. Now, diesel prices are also projected to decrease by nearly 4%, reducing from the current average of 15 cedis 16 pesos per litre to a range of 13 cedis 85 pesos and 15 cedis 31 pesos per litre. Fuel prices have seen significant increases in recent months. For instance, state-owned Gold raised its diesel price from 14 cedis 90 pesos per litre in October's second pricing window to 15 cedis 45 pesos in November's first pricing window. Let's do some sports now, and former Black Stars captain James Kuku Dadzi says Niger's recent win over Sudan in Group F of the 2025 AFCON qualifiers could psychologically boost Ghana ahead of their crucial match tonight. Now, the Black Stars need victories against Angola and Niger in their upcoming fixtures to maintain their chances of qualifying for the AFCON tournament in Morocco. Speaking to Citi News, James Kuku Dadzi stressed the importance of prioritizing the Angola match, saying the priority now is to beat Angola.
Definitely, it's going to have an impact on our game against Angola psychologically. That is football. If Sudan had beaten Niger, our match with Angola will be just nothing to write home about. But once Niger has beaten Sudan, it means that our chances of qualifying to the Cup of Nations in Morocco is brighter now. So the only thing that we have to do is to beat Angola. That is a bottom line. Thereafter, then we can know how to tackle the last match, depending on other results.
That's the former Black Stars captain James Kuku Dadzi, and I have been joined in studio by my colleague Edwin Kwakofi on the Citi Sports Desk. Edwin, what are our chances in this game?
Before the current round of games, the Black Stars needed to do one thing to ensure they stood the chance of qualifying, which was win 2 games against Angola tonight and then against Niger on Monday. Things haven't changed. Even with Niger's victory over Sudan, the Black Stars still need to win both games. It's just giving, as Kuku Dadzi said, a psychological boost to the Black Stars. But it could also end badly. If the Black Stars do not win this game in particular, there's a chance they could finish bottom of the group, which is a huge blow to the Black Stars. But winning tonight and winning again on Monday and hoping that Sudan drop points to Angola, which after this result seems like a possibility, could send the Black Stars through. So there's hope is not all lost. The Black Stars could make the next.
What are your predictions briefly in a few seconds?
Honestly, I think tonight the Black Stars' chances end. We'll draw with Angola and then everything is gone.
Very well. Thank you so much. That's Edwin Kwakofi on the Citi Sports Desk. And that is how we wrap up today's edition of the Citi Prime News, which has been live from our studio in Adabraka, Accra. You can log on to citynewsroom.com for more stories. Also, join us using the hashtag CitiVerify, hashtag GhanaPost 2024, and hashtag Election Bureau for all your election-related stories. My name is Ajuatin Kramadumna. Thank you for listening. Good afternoon.
City News. We speak first. Reach our hotline on 0302 224959 and get interactive on Facebook, City 97.3 FM, and on Twitter at